Friday night action in the Bundesliga saw Bayer Leverkusen and Schalke play out a 1-1 draw, but still the big story in Germany is the sacking of Carlo Ancelotti after that 3-0 defeat against PSG at midweek. Bayern, of course, still third in the table. Gab, it's the first time we've had you on the show. I imagine yesterday was just a day of mourning for you, considering the love that you have for Ancelotti.
Look, it's not the number of times you fall down, it's the number of times you get back up. He's been sacked before, he'll bounce back. I think what's really odd and mysterious to me, you know, as sort of details start to emerge, obviously Ralf Honigstein and others have been complaining about, you know, his lack of intensity and his predictable patterns of play, and he's too laid back and blah, blah, blah. What's kind of curious, though, is that Ralf clearly noticed this last year when they won the Bundesliga title, but apparently Bayern did not. I think it's got to be near unprecedented for somebody to go and be sacked this early in the season. In the summer, after you've been able to see him up close, you saw how he worked all season long, you thought he wasn't right, you want to go back to the Guardiola era, fine. I would have understood that. But then to go into the season and to sack somebody now in September, to me, that's just really, frankly, inexplicable. And you wonder if this doesn't speak to bigger dysfunctions at the club and in the dressing room.
Greg, you mentioned it after that defeat. You said you're surprised if you would see the season out. In the end, you didn't even see the week out.
Yeah, I mean, I did think the summer would be probably the end for Ancelotti, but I'm not surprised, for one, that they've done it so soon. And I don't think it's inexplicable, because I think what's happened here, I think it's not just results, because results can turn around, right? I think they're looking at other things that are going on within the club, players, some discerning voices from senior players. And I think Bayern have seen some problems that they think, right, we need to sort this now. We need to make the change. It's not good. I mean, clearly he's a successful manager. We know that. Yeah. But it's not happened for.
But Craig, my point though is, why couldn't they see this? Why didn't they see this in the summer when they could have gotten somebody else in and planned them out? I mean, unless you believe that all these problems just appeared all of a sudden in August, which I think clearly they didn't. Everybody says they go back to last season, right? If this was so divided, so toxic, and he had to go, why did it take you so long to realize this, that you went all last year and you didn't sack him in the summer?
Well, maybe they just decided to give it an extra few months. I mean, sack him in the summer, sack him now, what's the difference? I think they've made a decision now, they're going to move on, they're going to try and go in a different direction, and who can criticise Bayern Munich for that? I mean, they clearly are not happy with the direction that this current team, this current setup is going, and they want to make the change now. They don't want to leave it to the summer gap, where somebody has less time to come in.
I can criticize him for that, because you've sacked him now in September. The transfer window is shut. Yes. You've bought in players for the previous manager who's now gone. You still have the veterans. You're going to throw in somebody else in at the deep end without a chance to really go and build the kind of team he wants. That's the problem with it. It's just really bad planning.
Well, look, listen, there's never an ideal scenario, but maybe Bayern Munich think somebody else can come in and do a better job with the current players that are there in the time being, until they can get a structure going forward to get better players in. Look, listen, forget this Ancelotti love in, Gab. The bottom line is he wasn't getting results, right? Things weren't going great. It wasn't Chelsea, it wasn't PSG, it wasn't Milan, and Bayern Munich decided to move on. I think it's hard to argue against.
Boom, yo, God. The thing goes skrrrr, skiddy kid pop pop, and the poop poop boom, skia, boom 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 boom.